Good morning, good afternoon, good day. This is The Way We Ball. I'm Eric Todd.
Blocka.
What?
Jacob Mustafa here. Hello, how are you? Good morning. It's not really morning.
It's not. It's actually 1 p.m. Yeah, we're recording at 1 p.m. on a Sunday.
We had a long night, and so
Yes.
It very much feels like a morning. Feels like it's honestly like 6:49 a.m.
Right.
now.
That's I'm like, it's the morning. It's literally. It's
also,
very
he
much
has an
the
infant,
afternoon.
so yeah.
Yeah. It's like it's always.
Time
Who
doesn't
knows
exist.
what time it is? When you have a 6-week-old baby. You also have a very, very exciting gift on your desk that was given to you yesterday, and I was so excited about every piece of
It's
this.
the greatest thing I have ever held in my hands. This is a Russian nesting doll of the 2003-2004 Houston Rockets pre-Tracy McGrady trade. This is
So you know
Chungus
who's
Yao
there.
Ming on the outside, thick-necked, thick-gutted, as we all love and imagine him, opening into shooting for, or stretch four, but which meant that you shot an 18-foot jumper
Right.
in 2003. Mo Taylor, who I loved and nobody else did, including the stats. Into journeyman Jim Jackson. I see how adorable this is too. It's so fucking cute. And then that opens into Cat Mobley, who looks
Gatino Mobley.
Gray hair legend, Cat Mobley, into the tiniest defense.
The tedious baby Stevie franchise. Oh, that's my favorite. The baby Stevie franchise is just like
no. Your favorite thing is the cutest thing in the fucking world. Yeah, no shit.
He's the baby of our hearts too. So.
And I need to thank my very good friend and basically family member, Ronnie Turner, for the coolest shit that I've ever had. It is going to stand right here so that way everyone can see our beautiful boy throughout the entire podcast. So whenever my face bores you, which I know is rare, you can always look over here to the corner.
All right. Yeah.
My Chungus, our two Chungus. Yeah. Anyway.
Okay.
We're doing a lot of stuff for we're doing a lot of bullshit for an episode that has some hard fucking news.
Right. This is a semi-emergency. I don't know what. This is a serious. It's what we've all been waiting for.
It is.
Holy jamolies.
LeBron James is a Philadelphia 76er.
What? Huh?
Wait, what's the Tim Allen? What the fuck just happened?
Why did we both just know how to do that on cue? Okay. All right. In unison. Yeah. Of course.
Yeah. There's like 85 fucking things to talk about with this. It's LeBron James and he's on a new team. But I don't know, man. What did you want to say first? Where are your first thoughts? Like, why? I think the first thought immediately people ask is, why the hell did he pick Philadelphia and not the place that we all expected him to go? Right.
No, absolutely. That's and you jumped right into it. This is exactly why I wanted to speak on this first, because what did you say? Like, you were like, it's a surprise. Like, LeBron is a Sixer. And I think a lot of people were shocked at this outcome. But number one, this was a thing that had been discussed in the media. There were rumors around it for weeks. There were a limited number of teams that were being talked about. And I said, I think we had a podcast on it. I've definitely said it to everyone else. I felt like he was going to Miami. But I also feel like the other options, and especially the sort of pet one that everyone really wanted, I feel like we're not viable for a lot of reasons. First of all, mini to me, everyone, like, I had another friend who's like, I wish he would have gone to Minnesota. It would have been so exciting. Yeah, it would have been exciting as fuck. LeBron James is 42. Dude, LaMelo Ball and Anthony Edwards are like 13-year-olds. Like, he was never, ever, ever, ever going to do that. Like, this man goes golfing with, like, a bunch of white dudes, like, who talk about business shit. Like, dude, there's no, it's cold as fuck in Minnesota. Like, There is no way that was never on the table in any fucking universe. Period. I'm sorry. It would have been so fun, and we could debate.
It would have
Maybe
been
it
to
would have been
me
the yeah
easily the most fun of the like really really proposed options in the
yeah
sense that it would have been the one that I would have been the most wondering what the fuck I was going to see every night.
right
And I also think this isn't a total admission of anything crazy, but I also think it may have produced the highest highs of any of the teams that were offered up simply because of fits. I think his there was very, very,
yeah
very good. They have a built,
yeah
beautiful defense, an
yeah
amazing rim protector, good rim are good defenders on the side, and now another brilliant passer, but a good spot up shooter in LaMelo
yeah.
Ball. LeBron and those guys would have had a really good transition attack. That is also going to happen over here.
Yeah, it will.
I just,
no, I'm with you. I do think it was probably the best, and that's why people are excited.
It was a personality thing. It was clearly a personality thing.
Yeah. It was probably the
LeBron James was going to
basketball
entrust
option.
the last few years of his career to LaMelo Ball.
There's no fucking way. Just like absolutely, LeVar Ball was not going to be anywhere near this man. Like, yeah, there's just no way. But I'm with you on the excitement. On like why it would have been fun. I do, and I'm also with you in the sense that I think it probably would have been the best team of the ones outside of like his just joining Oklahoma City or something.
Yeah, or like the Spurs or something. Yeah.
Which he was never going to do because, of course, this man has an ego and whatever.
He wants the credit if they win.
Yeah,
because if they win,
there it is. There it is. Right, fucking there. So. Cleveland was the other team that everyone was like so on about, like, oh, of course he's going to go home. I saw some people like
I predicted in the middle of the year last year that was what he would do.
Yeah,
so I was on the train of getting this one wrong.
I just never felt like it was going to happen because of James Harden, and because of the fact that but James Harden's not even signed there. That's the other thing that's kind of crazy.
That's a whole nother podcast. What's going to happen with James Harden? Obviously, Cleveland is in some weird, deep shit here.
And I think
he has a lot of.
We are going to talk about this a little bit later, so we don't have to get into that. But to me, assuming that Harden was going to stay, just like the fit, and you had mentioned that there were rumors that they were trying to get either AD or Kyrie traded,
or both
traded to Cleveland. And barring that happening, I just don't. To me, the fit with Mitchell on defense, especially, and with Harden, I just feel like you have to play all three of those guys. And Cleveland needs a small forward, but they need a defensive small forward.
Yeah,
who's a spot up shooter. And
I also just don't think LeBron's a small forward at this point. Like I just don't, and at this point in his career, I think the two teams that we liked the fit on the most, the team that he chose and Minnesota. Had a hole at 4, and that was why it really made sense. Yeah. A team that's relying on him to guard threes is a team that is admitting that it's going to have perimeter weaknesses on its defense just at the jump. Like, he's 42. I don't give a shit. There is no shade to LeBron at not having the fucking lateral foot speed that he had whenever he was fucking 28, or that anybody has whenever they're 22. You know what I mean? Like it's an unfair ask to be like LeBron all game, guard Brandon Miller all game. Guard fucking, I was going to say Kevin Durant, but that's because I'm old. But also it's still, I just feel no matter what, he needed to be in a role where where his defense was essentially a tack on, not an essential part of the perimeter defense needing to work.
Right. And while I think.
And in Cleveland, it would have been.
There's a world where Cleveland in general has a better defense than maybe Philly does this year, potentially. It won't be because of Bron. It won't be like highlighted by his having to play out of position, his having to guard guys on the perimeter, and not.
No, Mobley would have had to have basically Wembanyama like year, or honestly Giannis like year.
It would have just put so much pressure on Mobley, and I just think the basketball fit is tricky. Taking the ball,
there's gonna be a lot of pressure on Mobley no matter what happens. And
no matter what, we're gonna get into that. I also just think like LeBron has never really seemed to like James Harden very much, and so that's another one where it's like, is that really gonna happen? So there was that, and then the Miami fit, which I obviously was championing, as I felt like it would have been a good fit. you're thinking again around the power forward situation, maybe thinking it's a little bit less of a good fit. I thought it would have been a great fit.
I think because of the defensive versatility, that wasn't my problem in Miami, because Bam can guard, 1 or 2 through 5. Like,
and you got off night. Like you really, I think, and then,
I think what Bron was worried about there was the offense. I think Bron was like, I don't know that we have enough shooting to make whatever because there's already a certain clunkiness to Bam and to Bam and Giannis on offense.
Exactly.
Bam, Giannis, Bron. You add passing and you add spot up shooting, but you don't add Bron wants himself a real shooter somewhere on the fucking team, and he got himself some here, right? And before we transition real quickly, I do want to say the Harden thing is what really. That's why I think you were right, and a lot of people who were always down on the idea of him going back to Cleveland were right. Yeah. I do think that he has zero interest in playing with a player like James Harden. Not even that he doesn't like James Harden as a player. I just don't think he wants to play with him.
Because he is that kind of player, right?
I think because he was that kind of player. And I think that he sees that on a team that he wants to be on later in his career, he wants it to be a little bit more read and react, touch pass, move without the ball. And I think also, where did he just leave and didn't want to come back to where my guy is, what you call it, controlling every possession. LeBron wants to run around. LeBron wants something to do. Yeah. And I think that corner 3-point shooter Bron got a little annoyed in the last 2 years, even if he loves Luka. You know what I mean?
And I'm with you. I don't necessarily think we're gonna see like heliocentric Bron like pounding the ball in Philly at all.
No. But, and when we talk fit, I think that we'll pretty clearly I don't think that that's what's going to happen.
I also wonder a little bit, just to stay on this for a second, that may be what happened in Miami, that maybe he didn't want to play with Giannis for kind of that same reason that Giannis wants to hold the ball. Yeah. And Giannis has become kind of more of a distributor in the last few years. And so, or maybe, I don't know. I wonder if there's something there. But I also just think, like, when you look at that Miami roster, we'll talk about them a little bit, they just gave up so much, you know, to get Giannis. That I'm with you. He probably was concerned about depth. And also, just, like, in terms of performance, I think we're all recency bias people. We just watched Philly go to the second round.
Yeah.
And Miami, even though it's a different team, like, we haven't seen that, and we really even haven't seen Giannis be.
And we saw Philly go to the second round, and the player that they just traded for have a number 6 in MVP season as well. I think there's a lot going for that for LeBron.
Yeah.
Okay, and that gets us to like kind of where I just want to say, like, why does he choose Philly? Because it works. Yeah. Because like in terms of all of these options, and I don't think because we were all so stunned at just the idea. I think the main reason was he has no association with the Sixers outside of his like weird relationship with Michael Rubin, which is Michael Rubin's this like nefarious character in the NBA.
Really,
I feel he owns Fanatics, which is the company that makes jerseys,
I know that,
and also like has a big portion of like DraftKings or one of the other
ones. No, I didn't realize that.
It's a weird relationship, but of course LeBron has a serious relationship with that guy,
right?
And
Mr. Mogul, right?
If there's an Israeli gun runner around or a fucking Republican super PAC or what you're calling big time donor, LeBron has their number at least.
Right, exactly.
He might talk shit about them behind their back, but he knows the guy.
Yeah, but they can text each other.
And I do think that part of this was, that's the only connection. And so I think that freaked a lot of people out. They were just like, why would he do this? Yeah. And I think us as basketball fans, as soon as we processed it, we're like, well, this is pretty good. It's a pretty good team. They
it's a basketball decision, good team. Which I think is awesome. I mean,
what's funny is we haven't said it yet. The starting lineup here is pretty stacked. Like the starting lineup here is the imagined roster that we would expect would be, and that imagined is
right.
Big emphasis on that word.
The assumed starting lineup. The assumed ideal starting lineup
is point guard Tyrese Maxey, who I recently ranked 15th in the league in terms of players.
To yourself,
to myself, and to you. I sent it to you.
I don't.
I sent my list to you. Right. Shooting guard VJ Edgecombe, who I honestly is. I love Edgecombe. Edgecombe is one of the was one of the winningest rookies of last year. Honestly, last year's rookie class was insane.
It's awesome.
And it's so funny that we
this year's
have
looks better.
One that's just as powerful.
Yeah.
And at the 3, I mean, Jaylen Brown playing at the 3 is kind of his perfect position at this time in his career. He's so defensively versatile, and between him and Edgecombe, you really have some interesting perimeter defense that can make up for Maxey's weaknesses and maybe some of Braun's. But again, you're not at your 4 is LeBron James. He's not expected to guard the other team's best wing. He is expected to sometimes switch on to them, but that means that you're not ever expecting like the heavy load that you would have had, especially in Cleveland. You would have been like, this guy is going to have a lot of work to do on defense.
And that allows Braun to be a help defender or to guard,
which is where he's super helpful, where his brain gets to take over. And then you get to the center position, which we think will be filled by Joel Embiid, which Joel Embiid, if he actually does he have a knee anymore? Is there cartilage? Who fucking knows? So we're going to talk about fit here a little bit, but you've got to swallow the fucking boulder-sized grain of salt that is Joel Embiid here? Is he doing this? Are we even talking about a real player? Are we talking about a ghost of what we remember or what he did this last year? You compared it when we were talking yesterday to Brandon Roy, where it's like we were all
what if that was his Brandon Roy?
What if that was it? Moment? What if we just saw the 2009 Brandon Roy year where he had an amazing year and it was beautiful, but like, can he actually keep that up?
Yeah, but that was the last gasp. I mean, but who knows, right? Exactly.
Who knows?
I mean,
and LeBron took a huge risk to do this. Admittedly, he signed a 2-year with the option on the second year, meaning he can pull out of this next year if he wants to. Also makes him essentially a tradable contract at the deadline if everything went wrong here. But I don't think it will. And the reason I don't think it will are some of the defensive questions we just addressed. The biggest, I think the defense works if there's some kind of rim protection. Again, swallow your salts. If Joel Embiid can just be 7-3 and present and get rebounds and play, 15 minutes a game in the season and then pop out for his 25 or 30 in the playoffs, we'll see. But the real thing this offense had, and you and I were talking about this, the last time we did this podcast, I said, my issues with Philly getting Jaylen Brown are, I think there's a lot of dribble here. I think there's a lot of, and I don't even think Maxey is like,
passing.
There's not. Yeah. And I don't think Maxey's a guy who wants to hold on to the ball all the time, but he's not a player who naturally shifts the floor so that he can find that he's shifting the floor so that he can get space for his shots. Because that's the kind of player he is.
All of these guys create off their own shots.
For themselves.
Except
enter the greatest passer of the last 20 years.
Yeah. Right.
And he showed last year. A lot of people keep saying, like, I've seen that Dean Oliver posted something about the usage rate that all these guys had combined last year.
I saw that.
It's important to note, LeBron did that at various times of last year where Reeves was out for 40 games or something.
And Luka missed
was
some time
for 20 games.
Yeah, right.
LeBron had to, whenever they were gone, there was no one else to use or pound the ball.
In the playoffs, there was no one else.
But before that, before Luka got hurt in that OKC game, there was a good 20 to 25 game stretch there where LeBron plays third player Aaron Gordon style basketball, and the Lakers win a lot. He doesn't hold on to the ball very much, and he's more willing to take corner shots, and he's more willing to get off the ball fast. And that's the LeBron I think he imagined seeing coming in here and adding that winning element. And I think it's really hard not to think that that's what he's going to do.
No, agreed. No, I'm with you. I think all the usage rate stuff is kind of silly. I think the passing is essential, and also being with other high usage players, but other players who are looking to score. I think is just perfect for him right now, because I think what the things that he is not able to do now are move his feet on defense and guard perimeter guys. That's waning. He's still strong and athletic, whatever, right? So you're right. I think he can still guard up better than he can guard down. And with that, the foot speed, which is all the foot speed stuff. I think we've seen his ability to beat his own man off the dribble has started to wane a little bit. And so I think this is where his setting up these other guys and like Edgecombe fucking cutting and just like all of these guys looking to score and his looking to set them up. And also just what we've seen from Braun the last couple of years is his spot up shooting improve. Last year, he was a bad, like his shooting last year didn't go well, but I also just feel like that team, whatever, they did well, but to me, they were such a fucking mess that like you kind of almost have to.
He also took fewer threes last year, and I didn't like that he took so many fewer threes. You look at the seasons where he takes above 6 or where he gets into the 7-8 territory, and he shoots a lot better.
Right.
He just needs more looks at it, and I think this year he's going to get a lot of open
I think so too
on this team.
That's how I would imagine. And you mentioned here that transition is like. This is just going to be a perfect transition team.
This team did not get out enough last year in transition for the kind of players that they have,
and they did play fast, sort of. But when Embiid was
with Embiid, and now with these 4 guys, like they can just
fucking over.
I know it sounds crazy to be like, oh, this 42-year-old, he's still one of the best transition players in the league, bar none. Still gets a lot of steals. Still can obviously one of the best hit-ahead passers you could imagine, and still will beat a lot of guys in a fucking foot race down the court for a dunk. But the other thing that I think no one's mentioned because it's too corny, and it's just like, oh yeah, what? They just got LeBron James to close games. I'm sorry if you're worried about like, are we gonna choke or is something? And everyone's like, oh, they're guaranteed second round exit because they just don't have the stuff. It's like, look, man, you get in a close game with them. You've always been scared about Joel finding his shot at the end of a game. You don't know if Tyrese Maxey's that kind of one-on-one guy. Right. And then you're like, oh, we got Jaylen Brown. We got a closer. Yeah. And you got
LeBron James. In the playoffs. And you saw last year in the playoffs his pickup. When everyone gets hurt, he carries
he's still got the juice. No matter what you want to say about this dude, there's a reason why we're all talking about him right now. And I think that's the interesting part here is how much we are still talking about this guy at this point.
My wife has a saying that she says a lot, and to if you've listened to this podcast, you've met her once, and she's got a lot of bluster. But one of her when we first started dating, we had this long debate because she claimed she could fight a bear and win, and I was like, it's a fucking bear, girl. Like, you're a human. Sorry. Anyway, but she likes to say this thing. She's I
think she could get 2 minutes. Danielle, if you're listening, I think you can get 2 minutes in there at least. You can survive in the ring.
Once I don't even think she listened to the episode she was on. Okay, but she likes to say this. She likes to say because she loves a snappy saying too. She likes to say, "I may not be as good as I once was, but I'm as good once as I ever was." Yeah. Meaning, like, hey,
no, I got you.
And so, and I think this is maybe where Braun is thinking, right? Where it's like, hey, what I need, what he needs is his usage to come down.
Yeah.
Is like, but I can contribute. He can still do it. And if you need me at the end of a fucking game,
let me Chris Paul it.
Yeah. I'm still the GOAT. Like, exactly. Let me Chris Paul. Right. Exactly. And that's awesome. That's like just super good. The one thing that I will say, and that's funny to me just about this is that, I just kind of love that we're 22 years in and we like everything still stops for the news of this fucking dumbass, like not dumbass, for this man to make a decision. And he even calls it the decision in my last decision, I mean, which is corny as it has ever been, but like, You called me on your lunch break.
No, I was not on my lunch break. I was working. I was in the middle of work.
In the middle of your work day to talk to me on the phone for like literally an hour. My wife has had she has notifications on for anything LeBron. Like my wife, who is casually a basketball fan, literally, we were talking and she got a notification on the book.
You gotta not put my business in the streets out here that I took an hour off of work while I was on the clock to do this. But okay, I will also
it was not a whole hour. It was like a lunch,
the way
lunchtime.
To emphasize further what Eric's saying, the way I found out was my boss came in my office, waited for me to get off a call for like 4 minutes, sat there for 4 minutes silently so that way he could deliver the news that LeBron signed in Philly.
it's still 22 years later. It is still the news. It is still the thing with all of these crazy ass trades and signings and all the movement this offseason, and as exciting as this draft class looks, like
and new faces of the league that abound.
This is still the thing that we stop for.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah, no, there's something magical about it. Now, the real question is we talked about this a lot with all the trades that happened, and we just did a really long podcast. The last one we did, time we got together, we talked about 20 fucking trades, and we still had to argue, did any of these actually shift the power of the league?
Right.
We have to ask, while we talk all the time, and I take undisclosed amount of times off of work to talk with you on the phone about it, is it worth it? It didn't matter. Did the Sixers just get, when I say meaningfully better, and by that I mean, did they just buy themselves some championship equity? Did they just get themselves a piece of the pie of, we have a shot? And my answer is yes and no. I think your answer is a lot closer to just no, isn't it?
So when you called me, you asked me the question, are the Sixers a top 4 team?
Are they the 4th best team in the league?
Are they the 4th?
I didn't ask, are they a top 4? Because I think we're all pretty certain. I don't think there's an argument. OKC, New York, San Antonio, that's your top 3 teams.
Yeah, they've earned that. They've earned that.
Exactly. They've earned it.
Yeah.
And nothing has changed in a way that way outside of Mitchell Robinson leaving and some moves in OKC, which we will talk about a little bit later. Nothing's really changed enough for that. But the real question is, are they above the rest with this move? And my answer immediately was yes. I do think yes. I think that they are. And I think the biggest reason for that is so in my mind, the question is, if Joel Embiid doesn't play and they replace that position with replacement level player or slightly above, which might be what a Dembona or Huck Porty are.
Yeah.
They're bench bigs.
Yeah.
Are they likely to get out of the second round? And to me, I still think that they have a chance. And I think
out of the second round,
I think that they would probably do it. I think they would still earn themselves a chance to play the Knicks in the conference finals, even with that. Because I just think around the edges, they're so stacked. There's so much scoring here. We said a lot of stuff here to skip to the part of, holy shit, it's going to be hard to keep this team from scoring.
Yeah.
Every possession that ends in an ISO with the guy you don't want ending in an ISO with.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. You just don't like it. And then you've got these guys like Edgecombe and LeBron who are like begging to fix a little problem, who are thinking about the play well before it's reached its conclusion. And also, LeBron is the best player maybe in league history at making teammates better. Everyone knows that story. I don't know if you've heard it before. The one that Jeff Teague has told on Club 520, where he says, when Larry Bird was the president of the Pacers, he told Jeff Teague and the team, we don't sign anybody who used to play with LeBron. And and Jeff Teague was like, why? He was like, what does that mean? He was like, because they're not as good as you think they are. It's like, he's like, they were just good because they were with LeBron.
Yeah.
And that Larry Bird said, that gives you an idea of how important, as both the president and being fucking Larry Bird, he understands.
Exactly.
He understands. There's Tristan Thompson has serious skills, and Mo Williams has serious skills, and Rui Hachimura have serious skills, and Austin Reeves have serious skills.
Yeah.
But they look a lot better whenever there's a genius next to them who always puts them in the right position and almost never steps on their toes.
Yeah.
And that's, I just, when I look at this team, the Sixers were a team in just begging for, forgive me, and I like all of these players, in need of a brain. They were a fucking what you call it? What's God damn it? It's not Gundam. What is it when all the 4 things come together?
Voltron.
They were Voltron without the head.
It's my favorite thing.
Yes,
I'm like Voltron, and then
and I think they got their head.
Me and Wu-Tang, who remembers Voltron. That's it. Of course, me, and the Jizza. So we're obviously of one mind. So
you would fucking. Go ahead. Sorry. Go ahead.
No, real quick though, I want to pause here because I want to kind of lead this into the next like real section of discussion, and I suspect where you're going to land. So, and I suspect we're going to talk a little bit more about this team. So, and I want to give my thoughts on Philly and on kind of like how this shakes out. But what kind of this whole signing got me, and I think both of us sort of thinking about is what is happening in the fucking East, man? Like, holy shit. Like,
if you're not an NBA fan, you don't understand. It has not been like this ever. For like 30 years, the West is the conference with fucking 7 contenders,
right?
And the East, just somebody wins
and the West probably still has the best 2 teams.
Yes,
but like maybe
the East has maybe
8 or whatever.
8 of the other top 10.
Yeah, yes. I mean it's so. So what I wanted to do was this exercise where we kind of do a little bit of early, at least Eastern Conference predictions.
Absurdly early.
Early. And we're going to like literally probably the next pod we do after the summer break is going to be
or at least in a couple.
The fucking right.
We'll do this again.
We'll probably do this like 2 like episodes later or whatever. But whatever. I just think it's an
if you predict things 8 times, then one of your predictions
will be correct, right? Exactly.
That's the one that will click.
And that's the one we'll remember and be like, hey, I was right. The 3rd iteration of that. I was totally right. Come on. Give me my flowers. But yeah, so we're going to do some rankings. We're going to go through and kind of rank the teams. And just at the outset of this, I think both of us like expect that 9 of the 10 teams from last year. This is another thing I thought, like once I got into it, I was like, but actually, how much has really changed? Because 9 of the 10 teams from last year who were in the playoffs / play-in, we expect to be right there again with Indy in and Charlotte out. I feel like there's probably not a lot of debate on those expectations. Also,
Knipple, Brandon Miller, come on,
guys,
Charles Lee. No, I don't agree. Yeah, they when trading LaMelo Ball was admitting that they are going to take a step back.
Was it intentional? Right? Was an intentional? It feels like some step back. I feel like maybe they have some kind of chance. Maybe Washington has a chance to kind of like fight their way in there.
Washington's a very interesting one. I want to talk about Washington more as we get to the end of this because Washington's got a very, 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 very interesting squad. I think they have more of a chance to sneak in here than Charlotte does.
And then the other 3 teams.
But you're right. Like, for the most part, these are the same teams, but they are jumbled.
Yeah, right.
And you want to go through the list. So I want you to tell me, who is your number 1 team in next year's East? Who do you expect to have the best record when the season ends next year as of today?
The Knicks.
The Knicks.
I thought, like, are we going to disagree about that? I literally was going to leave them off the fucking list because the
NBA champion New York Knicks. No question.
Not
Mitchell Robinson's missing. Doesn't like shift you too much.
Well, we're going to talk about this in the Boston section, but I don't think Mitchell Robinson. I think Mitchell Robinson has slowed down. I think all of the injuries that he's taken have slowed him down. I think Cat had and you mentioned it, you compared him to Pau Gasol the other day. Yeah. And I just thought that was like such an awesome comparison that, you know, in this vein of like Pau Gasol, Chris Bosh, we saw like in on the Bucks, what's his name? He used to be on the Nets. Brook Lopez. We've just seen guys who were offensive big men and defensive liabilities,
but who had real skill sets.
Had real skill sets, right? Like
super athletic, or in Brook's case, giant.
Right. Get later in their career and become good defenders and win championships, and that's and like. To a person, almost every one of those players who's done that, who's managed to make that leap, get over the hump, win a title, I feel like their defense has stayed after that. Like they never went back on being a
serious defender, if like not maybe a great defender anymore, at least a serious defender,
like a solid defender. And I think the focus that we saw from Cat last year, which you credited, and I think correctly so, was really the thing that put them over the top. I don't expect that to go anywhere. I just think, and to me, like, obviously they needed Cat. Obviously the fit on offense is better with Cat at the 5, And if Cat's playing good defense and he's staying on the floor and not like fouling out, then what do you need Mitchell Robinson for? Like, I'm sorry.
I really desperately wish I had a hot take for you here. But no, I am going to say that the number one team next year will be the New York champion. The champion New York Knicks.
Yeah.
And I want the real reason I wanted to say, just to get before we get off of them, is I hear a lot of people, and we've already talked a little bit about this. There's a lot of people who are ready to say, like, that was a one and done team. That was a weird little thing that happened. That playoff run was so great. All I want, and the main reason we have argued against it, and I continue to say that is silly, is that they are a team that is mostly in its prime. And I don't understand why a team that is mostly in its prime is going to have some significant fall off.
They just won a championship, and a lot of us predicted them to win the title before the year started. That,
or
like,
at least get to the finals.
To stack their team with fucking talent that fits together. Like, what is this fluky shit that?
And I also want to note, when a team that people think kind of flukily won the title or flukily made a run gets, or what you call it, oftentimes the next year you see a dominant run from them because now they're like, no, we're exactly who we thought we were. We're the fucking champs. You talking. It reminds me a lot of the 2016 Warriors. And I expect that we are going to see actually the best regular season we've seen from these guys, obviously barring injury. Okay. So I am going to give you my number two. I'm going to give you my number two. And I do have a hot take for you here. And it shouldn't be. I want to know. I don't think it should be a hot take, but I think you will. And I think a lot of people will receive it as one, because I don't think that people are thinking of it as thinking of them any longer as a team that's in this class. But my number two team is the Detroit Pistons.
Okay. Oh my dude, I stopped us talking about Philly because I thought you were gonna say your number two is Philly. Jesus fucking Christ. Nope. Okay. I love it. Nope. Detroit. Okay. So I have them as my 3 seed, actually.
Okay. So we're like kind of in the same boat about this.
Yeah. That's really funny. That's funny. Because you know what? I was ready, and I think you were thinking I was not gonna go with that because I had been talking all this mad shit about the John Collins signing and losing Tobias Harris and giving up fucking beef stew for nothing. And I do still hold those things. I do think, like, especially beef stew, I'm just like, what? And then just what we saw from Duren, like, Jesus fucking Christ. But also, when I actually finally started looking at it, I was like, okay, like, I put the roster in front of me. I put, like, they won 60 games last year, man. You know, and like, and then a couple things that I did, and I don't mean to step on your take because this is literally you, like, you started this off, but like, firstly, I actually looked at Collins' numbers, and I'm gonna eat crow. Like, that man has actually shot the 3 ball very consistently in the last like 3 or 4 stops he's been at, and so I'm gonna shut the fuck up. Like, just all that. I think he's younger than Tobias Harris by like 5 years. I think or 4 years. I think I get. Hey, Harris was we're gonna phase that out. Let's bring Collins in to make that up. Kind of kept everybody else. Added Isaiah Joe. You know, so that's real fucking shooting. I don't get the beef stew thing, but I'm kind of with you.
I want to know. So real quickly, I don't want to bury it, but I do want to say this. There was a lot of talk about how Stewart had problems with the coaching staff after this year, and that I think explains what felt like a dump trade that didn't make.
And they benched him in the playoffs. Right?
And who they bench him for, though, and who they bench Duren for. They're going to emphasize Paul Reed this year. I think that they like Paul Reed. They like that his fit on the team. They like his fit as an offensive rebounder for a team that's probably going to miss a lot of shots. And they're like, you know what? It would be nice if somebody could actually pop these back in every once in a while, or at least get us another shot.
And B-Ball Paul is a guy who, like, has bounced around, who a lot of people have said, "Hey,
back in the day."
Exactly. He's kind of like he is a guy who, people still love him. I always hear people. He's got a fucking cool nickname, even. Like,
he does.
What are we talking about?
And I expect him to end games in Detroit, and I expect him to end games like he did in the playoffs.
27. The thing to me about Paul Reed is, and I feel like this even happened in the playoffs, was that it's like, shouldn't that be Duren? Like, is his skill set that different than Duren's skill set? And like, to me, it's like you played Paul Reed because Duren couldn't do it.
Same? But is this the same here? I'm sorry. I meant my heart, not Fat Bart.
Yeah, because I was like backwoods Bart. Like what? Like fat, that is my heart. He is my heart.
Bart or Bart the same? Oh no, but I just think that's what it was. Is like Duren's great. Duren kind of gets bullied sometimes by guys who you look at physically and you're like, what are you fucking talking about? Oh my God, bury that man. But Paul Reed works and works. He was up there against. I mean, the Magic were trying to kill them, and it did not matter. He was desperate, and he was desperately fighting with Evan Mobley, and he was desperately fighting with Jarrett Allen, who are more talented than he is, and that means something to them. And I want to say just the main reason why I think the Pistons got significantly better for the playoffs? No, I don't. I think the Pistons' chances to get better in the playoffs are honestly still riding on their two young stars' backs. How good are Ausar Thompson? How good are Cade Cunningham this year? Yeah. If Ausar Thompson continues to be, young Dennis Rodman, just something incredible that changes the floor all the time, Ron Artest-like, then I think that they can continue to have new heights that we aren't really expecting here. I think he was the second best defender in the playoffs. And Cade Cunningham is a stud. I ranked him number 10 in that little fake list that I put together.
Cade is
an absolute stud.
That's where and that's where I landed. Is I was just like, I wanted to put them lower, but I was like, Cade,
and they got him shooters. I think Isaiah Joe's going to fit great here. They kept Duncan Robinson.
Awesome.
They've got
Dennis Jenkins was a revelation.
Option. They invented Dennis Jenkins last year. No insult to Dennis Jenkins. You were so awesome. Yeah. But I didn't know who you were. And in the playoffs, I was scared of you whenever, James Harden had the ball in his hands because of what a hawk you are. And I just like what they've done there. I think Ron Holland has a lot of chances to get better. Yeah. I think it's silly to bet against youth that was improving for the last 2 years and a coach who's proven that he can adjust if you give him his guys. And these are a bunch of tough guys. Okay, you don't like John Collins, they'll bench him for somebody who will beat the shit out of you, even if it's not beef stew anymore.
I'm with you, and I like Holland. And what you saw in the playoffs, I felt like Duren lost his confidence in that first series, and it felt like he kind of never got it back. But he also went up against nasty, giant, big dudes who were going to beat the hell out of you. But
even when they played Cleveland after Cleveland had to get out of a fucking bloodbath with Toronto. Right, so they were a little more war training than they normally would be. Yeah,
their Cleveland's backs were already kind of stiff at that point. It's kind of stiffened up. And but I don't know. To me, it's Duren is supposed to be that guy, though. You know what I mean? He's supposed to be your bruiser. And
we've talked a lot about what we like about the Pistons, and I just picked him to be number 2, and I have not said his name in a positive way throughout this thing.
No, and he's
also
not signed.
Do think that he can survive in the regular season and be really good. Not just survive, but keep them going, have the energy. Yeah. In the playoffs, I still have worries. Just because I don't know, because I just saw him have a fucking flop out in 2 straight series. How could I not?
Yeah.
Who do you got at number 2, though? Let's move on. Who do you got at
number 2? A couple just side notes on Detroit.
Okay.
Just real quick, just very fast. Just I just noticed it. That they have also just kind of stacked a good number of kind of vet shooters. While I do not like Kevin Huerter, he might be able to turn it around at some point. I just feel like his shot has abandoned him, and his whole game was based on the shot and people guarding his shot and being able to do other things off that, and that's kind of falling apart. Maybe that'll come back. Who knows? But they still got Duncan Robinson, Isaiah Joe. They added Gary Harris and Taurean Prince. Interestingly, Javonte Green. A bunch of older vets who might work out. Some of these guys might shoot.
I like them with Bickerstaff. I like that combination of all their young emerging talent with these vets without Bickerstaff.
Yeah, I think in my head, I'm like, man, I really didn't. When I first looked at it, I didn't like this offseason, and now coming back around, I'm like, you know what? It might work out kind of well. Who knows? But the Jalen Duren's a big question. Okay, so my number 2. Again, I had Detroit at 3. My number 2, this is going to surprise some people. It's probably not going to surprise you. Man, I think the Pacers are going to come back and fucking like
I have them at
show
3.
people.
We made the same picks.
Okay.
So it's so stupid that we kept this secret from each other.
We kept it,
so
yeah.
we could review it on here, and we basically made the same picks.
Right. That's so funny. What's also funny is that I agonized over this, and at some point I had like Boston in here, I had Cleveland in here. I at some point I started with Toronto at the 2. Like I moved. This was so fucking hard, but yes, in the end, I'm just like, when I actually stared at all these teams and all these rosters, like who has something? That's the thing. Who has something to prove? And holy shit, Tyrese Halliburton has something to fucking prove. And while we can look at like, man, that trade they made really didn't swing the way they hoped, being able to get one of those top 4 guys. It landed outside that, right? And
I think Detroit and Indiana both have this in common. It's like a transactions didn't go the way we wanted them to go for them. And so we go, well, they must not be that great anymore. Right. But it's like, no, the reason why we were even worried about them making those transactions is because they're such a monster already. Right. And I think when you look at Indiana's roster, yes, sucks they lost Mathurin for essentially nothing. Sucks that they didn't get that they had to give up the pick in this draft. Guess what? The guys who are actually going to be on the floor next year, pretty fucking good.
Yeah, and I just want to go
fucking good.
Right, and I just want to fucking go through that. Right, like if you just Pascal Siakam, Tyrese Halliburton coming back, fucking Zubac, Nembhard, Obi Toppin. They still have old ass TJ McConnell.
Yeah, that's the one that worries me. You want to talk about the part that's my actual
McConnell might the wheel. He's 34. But look, Aaron Nesmith showed a ton. They added Kelly Oubre.
Aaron Nesmith, who won game 1 of the fucking Eastern Conference Finals against this year's champs. Yes,
exactly.
Aaron Nesmith shows a lot.
Nembhard had shown a lot and has had the ball in his hands a lot more. So I think some of that TJ McConnell like on ball juice.
They still have Ben Shepherd off the bench. I love their team.
Exactly. Ben Shepherd had a rough year last year. But the whole team did. They added Jay Huff, who I kind of love a little bit.
Love Kelly Oubre being added there.
Kelly
real
Oubre
scoring
is really nice. Jarris Walker had kind of a bad year last year, but again, the whole team was kind of tanking. Like you kind of have to throw last
Eric
year.
Eric irrationally believes in Jarris Walker in a way that does not make sense. This guy, but he's a Cougar. That's all it is.
That's right. He's a UH guy. He's a UH guy. But no, I mean Jarris Walker. He profiles as he should be. Like if his shot ever comes around, I think it will. His confidence has been a little shaky, but I think he can be a good defender. He's big and strong, and I think he can be like a good utility guy. Whatever. Okay, all right, it's fine. You can go to hell. I believe that's my guy. I believe in Jarris Walker. Okay, but no matter what, like I fucking believe in Tyrese Halliburton. I believe this. In Pascal Siakam, I believe in Zubac. I think Zubac is going to be a great fit and going to be honestly an upgrade from Miles Turner.
I get a tattoo that says I believe in Tyrese Halliburton. Tyrese Halliburton is the fucking truth and the way and the light,
dude. Yeah, I just and everyone's forgotten about this man, and I just feel like he's going to be on a mission, especially this regular season, to come in and say, "Hey, remember me? Fuck you!" Like dude. Yeah, exactly.
Fuck yeah. Yeah, we don't have to talk that much about this. I think we're on the same page with the Pacers.
Cool.
Hey, also, again, real quick caveat: Tyrese Halliburton comes back healthy. Halliburton actually comes back healthy, and that's the caveat with every team. But you have to put into we have to actually account for what we think they'll do. Tyrese Halliburton actually took the year off. He actually took the time.
He did not play. He has not played in a calendar year.
In a year. And he's got something.
And it'll be longer than that before we see him again. So
okay. So
who you got it for?
Okay, now I can say it's the Sixers. I've got the Sixers.
I got the Sixers. Damn it! I've got the Sixers at 4-2.
Oh, lame.
I promise we didn't look at each other's list.
Zero.
We have
zero.
Oh, man,
he couldn't have. I wrote these like fucking 20 minutes ago.
Same, but I delayed a recording of this podcast by an extra 30 minutes because I couldn't decide on the fucking order. But yes, and then of course, yeah. So here, coming back to it. Go ahead. Let's get it.
The real thing with the Sixers, and the reason I've got him here instead of number 1 is Joel Embiid.
Yeah,
Joel Embiid. I don't believe everyone else will say some version of if everything works out. If everything works out, I am pricing in. It will not. It won't. Joel Embiid has not shown me he can do this. I love JoJo. I need to see it. And when I say I need to see it, I mean I need to see 4 rounds. It's never happened. He can't do it. His body has not held up to it. Yes, if Joel Embiid shows up and people are like, and you see 80% of Joel Embiid, if you see that, sure, what the fuck?
We didn't see 80% of Joel.
We didn't see that this year. Whenever he scored 40 points in the first round.
Yeah, whenever he took out Boston, the number 2 seed, by himself in the fucking like.
Yeah, you're not. I just don't think you're going to see it. If I'm wrong,
got Boston's second best player traded to his team with that shit, and LeBron. Like this is also where it's like I feel like a lot of this is about those guys seeing JoJo, because look, dude, like a couple of years ago, there was, is it not 3 years ago that there was Joel Embiid before that injury was looking like the hands down fucking MVP before Kuminga fell on his knee.
The hands down back to
that's
back
right.
MVP.
Fucking back to back MVP who people were clearly
especially after people had said, Jokic deserved that one, and he should have had 3 in a row. And Embiid looked like was going to prove not only did he not deserve that one,
but I'm
going to take this one.
I'm going to take best player
he gets hurt in the middle of the year. But the reason I have them at 4 is since then he just has not been the same.
It has that happened. Like we can't ignore that fucking happened, and so that. To me, that's and I didn't say it when we talked about them a little bit earlier in kind of how they're going to land. It just because to me it's just an easy and kind of boring question. The whole thing is on JoJo's knees. Like the whole season, how they perform in the playoffs, whether they fucking win the title or whether they're out in the first round, whether they're the 4 seed or the fucking 2 seed, like it's just about Joel Embiid's knees.
But I do think the level of talent they've added does make their baseline something like 4 or 5. You know what I mean? Which I think is awesome.
Right. I mean, they have 4 studs to play and who fit together around him. It's just that whole, and the other problem to me is that like they don't have a replacement for him. No. They don't have anybody on the roster who's a competent starting 5.
Who Nick Nurse seems to trust, because Nick Nurse had Bona there last year and he didn't put him in there whenever he should have. We had Dominique Barlow playing the small ball 5 in these lineups. It's just I still have we'll see. What I will say to close this out is if we do see this magical unicorn 80% or plus year of JoJo from his prime, they'll win the fucking title. They'll win the fucking title.
Yeah, if we get 80% Joel Embiid, like
they're gonna run through the league.
Fuck out of here.
Yeah. If LeBron is playing with Joel Embiid, the one you remember from the video games, he'll run through everything. Yeah. And you know what? And as much as I don't really wish anything good to happen for LeBron James personally, I do wish that for Joel Embiid. And so I won't give a shit if LeBron bolsters his fucking his GOAT resume just so that JoJo can get fucking 1. JoJo gets 1. It'll be beautiful.
I have a few more thoughts before we move on this, because first of all, we started this podcast talking about them. Yeah. This is the reason. Ostensibly, we're even, we're meeting today on our Sunday.
JoJo is the reason. Yeah.
So, look, a couple more thoughts on him and on the team. First of all, like all of the questions around the fit on this team, including Jaylen Brown, including LeBron James, like Joel Embiid has shown, and people have said it, like, we even talked about it a little bit. It's like, they're going to be this big transition team. They're going to get out and run. How is Embiid going to work with that? How is he going to fit in? Like, all of what you heard from the team last year was, because make no mistake, this is Tyrese Maxey's team, right?
Yes.
Like, this is Maxey's team now. Still is right now Tyrese Maxey's team.
No matter how many All-Stars they just sign.
Right. He's that fucking good. He's proven it. Whatever. Like, but like what they all said was that Embiid empowered that. Embiid over and over and over has been such a good teammate. Has been a guy who played with Jimmy. Like, Jimmy Butler gets along with no one, right? Like, Joel Embiid fucking great, cool, awesome. Here we go. Yeah, like no issues.
Play with
like,
Harden.
Yeah,
Harden. Best friends for a while.
He's played with like all of everyone who
every
doesn't get along
star
with
who's ever
every
played.
disgruntled star, every player who I mean, hell, Ben Simmons, who couldn't fit with anybody else in the league, fit with Joel Embiid. So we are talking two guys to me, not just LeBron, but two guys who genuinely are two Hall of Famers who genuinely make their teammates better and who make the fit work around their teammates. I just have no question whatsoever about the fit. I have question about Joel's health, period. That's what it all hinges on. I have two other thoughts here. One is if the caveat of like, if we still get like, let's just say we get a 50% Joel Embiid, right? If they find themselves a Neemias Queta, if they can find a real rim protector, like a real somebody, and maybe that's Bona. I don't know. Like I just feel like I haven't seen enough to really say that, but like if they could find themselves like just a player,
maybe it's Huck Porty.
Maybe it's Huck Porty.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like the question at the center is the real question. The other thing to me is that I think the depth is not nothing. That starting five, assuming JoJo's there, is awesome. I just feel like they kind of have two other guys they can play, and I don't necessarily love those guys.
I think they took some flyers.
You like Phylon?
I like Phylon. I like Cooley,
like
or what you call it. I like Ryan Rupert. Like they took fun flyers here that I think some of which are going to work out. I like Barlow as a primary defender. He's a solid player, a hustle guy. You need a hustle guy on a team full of fucking, scorers like this one. And obviously Anthony Simons is a scorer, man. Like that guy can fill it up. He filled it up last year, and he's got enough defensive protection here, I think, to actually be able to play.
So Simons, a couple things. First of all, I'm not a fan of Dean Wade. I think I'm not. I don't know why people say he's good. I don't think he's good. I think that Cleveland.
Every time Dean Wade gets on there, it's white on white crime. I've never seen you so anti fucking
dude. Come on. I think Cleveland made him look better than he is. It's that I really don't trust his shot. I don't think he has. I don't really think he can guard down and guard perimeter guys like we think he can. I think he's a solid rebounder. I don't think he protects the rim. And so it's like,
what is
he doing for you? You know what I mean? Like, what's he really good at? Okay, he's rebounding. Okay, but he can't.
You know what he does? He plays minutes. He plays 15 minutes.
Right, exactly. But that's my point, is that I don't. And Simons, to me, is a guy who, like, I like him. But I also think this is a team that has a lot of scoring in their starting five, and he'll be great. He's a good player. He's obviously, you can play him.
He's a good shooter, I like that level of shooter next to LeBron. LeBron always turns guys who you think of as gunners into just good shooters whenever they're around him, like J.R. Smith and fucking Iman Shumpert.
No, he's gonna sing with Bron. He's gonna fucking fill it up. But if the questions around the team are defense, he doesn't help.
Even bum-ass D'Angelo Russell had some decent years in L.A. partially because, anyway.
Okay.
All right, who you got at 5?
Who I got at 5? Dear God, let's not have the same team. Toronto. Do you have Toronto at 5? Fuck! Are you kidding? Jesus Christ. Okay. All right. Well, here, I just like to note that we're correct. So that really is why.
Yeah. This is obviously must be true if we just came to these independently. Or our group think has become like fucking just Jesus second nature at this point.
Christ.
We're like, in our heads, we're like already arguing the other guy's point, and we're like, well, he has got a point. And we just come back to the same fucking idea, even though no one was actually talking. I also have the Toronto Raptors at the number 5. I think it's a little hard to place them because of the Kawhi Leonard situation right now, since they don't actually have Kawhi Leonard on their roster. And so it kind of comfortably falls into 5 for me. And I also think they're the kind of team that profiles as terrifying in the playoffs, maybe going to take a little bit to figure things out in the regular season simply because their scoring isn't going to be as consistent.
Yeah, that's kind of where I landed. I toyed with them at 2, and then I was like, wait a second. We don't know. If this is all of this is the assumption is that Kawhi Leonard is going to be there, right?
If the question to me was who has the third most championship equity in the East, I would pick Toronto. If the question to me is who's going to end the regular season, then that's why I put them at 5.
Yeah, no, Vegas agrees with you. I haven't mentioned it, but I pulled the Vegas lines for this. Vegas has them with the 6th best chance to win the title. They have them at 48.5 wins or better.
That sounds right to me.
Yeah. I'm with you 100%. I feel like Kawhi obviously is dangerous. He looked like the 2nd best player in the league last year, or a top 5 guy.
Top 5 guy. He looked like a killer. Absolute fucking killer.
But my questions are, will he be there? Will he play? He still is 35, and he has a long injury history. So even in the regular season, it's like I do absolutely think dangerous as fuck. I mean, with Scotty Barnes, with that defense, like Colin Murray Boyles, like you like the kid Alan Graves, right?
Yeah.
Like another big fucking.
Like, I mean, I love Jamal Shed. Like they're a tough
love Shed guy.
Team.
Let's go.
Tough ass team. I do worry a little bit. Last year they were kind of shooting, like they were very, very light on shooting. And if Kawhi misses a lot of games, they also lost Mamu. And losing Mamu to LA means that they really don't have a ton of shooting on this team. Quickly needs to shoot at a better percentage. There's some stuff here that scares me, especially scares me for the long haul. But you put this team in a playoff series with Scotty Barnes and Kawhi Leonard making decisions for you and being your point of attack. And I go, that's
and point of attack defense. Like,
like if those guys are if even you're playing the fucking Sixers or something, you're like, oh shit, man. LeBron has to go at Kawhi? Like, is it fucking Scotty 2016?
Barnes.
Does he ever escape this guy?
Right. No, agreed. No, I'm with you. I just think the defense could be just like fucking monstrous.
And Kawhi is a killer to this day if he is healthy.
And I've got questions about I've got questions about the offense, but not that many really.
All this is again dependent on fucking if Kawhi Leonard is actually on the Raptors.
To step back like a little bit, apologies for doing this. I do a little bit want to hit these Vegas odds.
Okay.
Vegas hates Indiana. They have the 13th best chance of winning the title, plus 4,000.
No soul. Vegas has no soul.
44.5 wins. They set the line at. That just feels like an easy, like fucking bang that over. They kind of a little bit are light on Detroit, but they have them at 50.5 wins, which is the same as they have Philly. But the 8th best chance to win the title. So not a lot of like title. But that also, whatever, Detroit's young, that doesn't seem crazy. Philly has the 4th best chance to win the title according to Vegas, with plus 1,000, and their the line is 50.5 wins. So yeah, anyway, whatever, just kind of getting that out there with the teams we already looked at. Do you want to do 6? Is it my pick?
It's mine. And I actually think we're about to start breaking.
I was gonna say. I was like, I think this is it. I think this is it. There has to, dude, with like as much like consternation and clear parity. I mean, last year the fucking 10 and the 5 seed were separated by 3 games. And I think it's gonna be tighter even this year. Like we have to disagree at some point. Like what the actual fuck?
I did
it 2 and 3. We did.
I think I know where you're gonna go here. And what I hate about where I'm going to go here is that I don't love who I'm about to pick. I just don't love who you love as much as you love them.
Okay.
I am going to go with the boring choice of the Eastern Conference finalist, Cleveland Cavaliers.
Cleveland. Okay. We are definitely disagreeing.
Yeah.
And this Cleveland was so hard for me to place.
They're very hard.
They were so I have them at 9.
Whoa!
I have them in the play-in.
You have them out.
Yeah, I have them out. And I'll say why. And it's not because And this is all like, again, Vegas thinks that Cleveland has the 9th best chance of winning the championship, right? So
defend your hot take. Defend hating James Harden on this podcast, please.
there it is. Yeah.
The
And
literal
that's it.
face. He is the literal face of this podcast. Why or what you call it? Why do you hate him?
Okay, so again, if Vegas thinks they'll win 47.5 games. That clearly is not going to be. I don't think that'll be the 9 seed. It's James. He's 37.
Mm-hmm.
They haven't signed him yet.
Yeah, that would be a problem. If he is not on the Cavs, that would obviously change my prediction here.
If they were chasing Braun, like, how does James feel? Like, they traded ostensibly like their 3rd best player, like one of the longest tenured members of the team, right? Yeah. Like, for James. Now, granted, last year he drove winning on that team.
Yes. I
feel like he was the reason why they were winning. He was like, and again, they rode him to the conference finals, right? They got swept in the conference finals. I think there could be some bad vibes potentially. More importantly, I just feel like, look, man, our guy, I love him. He's also my guy. I love him. He's got a little Jimmy Butler in him, man. Like, he's got a little, like, he gets disgruntled places. He goes places, doesn't have a good time. He is an unrestricted free agent.
Jim,
he could make his own fucking LeBron decision.
He just wants to be happy. He could go somewhere on a low contract and
can he come to the Houston Rockets, please? Can we? Because that's where he wants to be. That's where I want him to be. That's where he needs to be. The team needs him. Like, whatever.
Come home, baby.
Come home.
Come home,
James.
baby.
Come home and see us.
Bring it on home to me.
You got arrested here in downtown like a month ago. Like, exactly. We love you.
We clearly love you since we fucking put you over. Jail. We gave you a fucking arrest in Texas for having a gun.
Uh-huh.
Oh,
right.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
Anyway, I don't want to sit here and defend it because I don't really have a lot to defend here. The real reason I'm picking this is, I think James Harden will be on this team next year, and I think that they have a lot of talent. And they
absolutely do.
They just got a ton of talent. And even if they're not an exciting bunch together anymore, Mobley still has room to grow.
Yeah.
Mitchell's in his prime, and Harden, as he can be, still has proven to be a regular season workhorse. And even last year was like 13 All-NBA level player, even if he didn't make it. You know what I mean? Yeah, I just it's so hard to bet against regular season offense led by a healthy James Harden. Especially healthy, whenever it's got this much talent.
37-year-old James Harden.
Wasn't no problem last year. Deal. Just we're betting on a 42-year-old in Philly. Like, come on. The rules don't work. Some of these guys are actually in good enough shape that you can't really trust their age.
And some of these guys are just that good.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Just like we can stop, like, they're that fucking good. They're like,
he's an all-timer.
And the talent in the league is more numerous and more superfluous. I just think it's sure.
Okay, so you told me that I'm wrong here. Who did you get? Who did you pick at 6?
Oh, we want no. Let's do you have anything more to say about Cleveland? Do you want to talk about it's the same team as last year.
They lost Dean Wade. I don't think that's a big loss.
I don't either.
I don't think it really changes anything for them.
I do think they have depth issues, but I do think they have a lot of talent. Mitchell, Mobley, Allen, Strus.
Added so much to them whenever he came back healthy at the end of the year and in the playoffs.
He
is a restricted free agent though. He is an unrestricted free agent though, I believe. So no. They have him on deal. They have him on contract. They were having trouble. They were trying to maybe salary dump them. Strus? Okay, forgive me. But walk that back. Walk that back. He's on a deal. He's on a deal.
Yeah, he's signed. I got it right here. But
no, I got nothing else. What do you got?
Once again to apologize to our non-Cleveland listeners, or if they exist. I 2 reasons. One, the Harden question, whether he's disgruntled, whether he's on the team. and two, just like, man, I just think that this shit is going to be so stacked up. I just think that they might look. Vegas has them at 47 wins. They might win 46 and still be the 9 seed. You know what I mean? Like, who the fuck knows? So that's part of my contention. This again, exercise was so fucking hard. I have Atlanta at 6. Which was this who you thought? Was that who you thought I had?
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. And I do. I think Atlanta, and this is, and you said this to me the other day. You felt like this is an overcorrection because last year I didn't believe in them too much and they went on that fucking run. No, I like Dort. I love the addition of Dort.
You do like Dort.
I'm a Dort fan. I think a lot of people are not. I think you're more down on Dort than I am.
I like him there for the reason why he was good in OKC. He makes them have an impenetrable line of guys now.
Yeah,
like between Nall, Dyson, or what you call it, Daniels and him.
Dyson Daniels, fucking Dort. Like, I think this perimeter defense is going to be even better. I do think, like, a little bit like Philly, they still have a fucking hole at the center that they haven't filled in terms of like rim protection. They don't have a rim protector still. Thing is,
but they have more assets to make decisions that could get them to having that, including I believe a pretty large trade exception out of the Trae Young trade.
That's true. That's right. That they still have, I think, until like January or February or whatever, until a year after that. Yeah, right. Exactly. So they could fill that hole. Also, Okongwu plays the center for them and is a great offensive player. You know, and
an helps player. Them. I like. Yeah. Okongwu is an awesome third big for a team, but he's not their big.
Yeah, and there's I don't mind their starting him. I just think if you're gonna start him, then you need to have some rim protection next to him, and Jalen Johnson is not that. And so, but that said, I think they are fucking stacked. I think of them a lot like Philly, with the exception of Philly is stacked, and the 4 guys. I think Atlanta is just like stacked all over the place. I think they have so much fucking talent. They have 16 guys on the fucking roster right now. I know the names of I know who every one of these guys is. I can picture him in my fucking head. I'm just gonna list off, like, I feel like they have maybe 10. They may have 12 guys they have to fucking play. Okay, that's not one of them that I think is that great. Okay, so look,
Buddy Hield.
Yeah, right. Okay. So, dude, Jalen Johnson, Dyson Daniels, CJ McCollum, fucking Dort, Okongwu, Naw, Corey Kispert, I think is going to be good for them. He's been a great shooter, has been very consistent. They added Aaron Wiggins, dude. They added my guy
for free,
and now I get to talk about my guy Kingston Flemings. I think that Flemings is going to come in, and I think he's gonna do a lot quickly. I think he's going to be a viable point guard. I think he's going to be a real true point. I think he's going to be a decent point guard defender. I think he's going to help organize the offense even further. I think he's going to establish himself and have a great. I don't know that he's going to be necessarily in the rookie of the year conversation, because obviously those top 4 guys are like, what the fuck?
It's going to be kind of hard to get in that.
Yeah, exactly. But I think he's going to come in and I think he's going to take that starting spot. And I think eventually, maybe by mid-year.
Wow.
Yeah, no, I do. Yeah,
you're going to take CJ McCollum's starting spot.
I think so. Or even if he doesn't necessarily do that, I think
play meaningful minutes and
learn from CJ. I think was a great spot for him to be.
I love having a pro like CJ in front of him. Yeah,
I think there's a chance that he may be a little bit of a better defender at this point than CJ.
Oh, I don't think there's a chance. I think he's definitely a better defender than
right.
CJ.
And I think if his shot, that's going to be the question. I think early on is his shot. So if his shot can come around and work, I think he's going to be a great point guard for them. And anyway, I think he's going to work. I love the Aaron Wiggins and Dort. Those are fucking champs. Like, I just think there's a lot to like here. I do think that their rim protection and rebounding still may be a question. But I just think they're going to win a lot of regular season games. They were the hottest team in the league in the second half, like last year.
Absolutely were. Yeah.
So you're sitting back like you got some disagreement.
I have them at 9.
Ah! Okay. Yes. Real disagreement.
I just I love almost. I don't think I disagree with much you said. I like Kingston Fleming's a lot. I love their perimeter defense.
Defense, yeah.
I still think Jalen Johnson with a bunch of fast athletic guys in transition is a just recipe for success.
Yeah.
What isn't is their half court offense. And I think with a
Mm.
year together, everyone's going to have a little bit more experience at forcing them into their half court
Yeah.
offense. And I don't think you're going to see a lot of fun consistency out of them. I think that they are a team that really, really, really looks to me like a team that might make a trade in the middle of the season or might be desperate to get somebody like DeMar DeRozan whenever he buys out. They just need something to like.
You don't believe
something
in my guy.
boring and simple
You don't
to
believe
like.
in my guy.
He's a rookie point guard. He's a rookie point guard.
You'll see.
Like,
you'll see.
All right.
You got to trust.
All right.
You got to trust.
All right. Okay. So, who you got at 7? Who you got at 7?
Is it not your turn?
No, I just said the 6.
You said
my 6 was Cleveland.
Oh, okay. Yeah, and then right, cool. So I have Orlando at 7.
I have them at 8. We're not too far off on this.
Okay. Yeah.
I have Orlando in there. They're just so good. I don't care. Orlando is like, look, if all those guys start to play well at the same time, they've got the talent to do anything against anyone. But man, they're just, the stats don't lie. These are some inefficient chuckers. As much as I like I don't love Paolo, but there have been times where I've loved him. I love Wagner. His stats are miserable. What you call it? Some of his what you call it EPM stuff looks better than his raw stats or his advanced stats, but his advanced stats are not that pretty. And then there's Jalen Suggs. And Jalen Suggs, like, I swear to God, I really do love him as a player, but it feels like he cannot hit the broadside of a barn sometimes. He is so fucking bad at shooting.
They just have like so many guys who are bad at shooting.
Yes. And then one great shooter. Then one great shooter. Yes. Who I love, who is a winner, who's a gamer. And which is why I have a lot. They are another team that profiles to me as dangerous as fuck in the playoffs. Don't want to play them in the fucking slightest. Probably more scared of them than I am of of Cleveland in the playoffs. Don't expect them to win a ton of games in the regular season because of their offensive nights that they will have. They will have nights where they, as a team, go fucking 15 for 50 from 3 and just make everything look so hard.
So I am with you. I a little bit toyed with having them higher, but there are major questions. I mean, I think one of them, you're right. I mean, look, they had a very impressive playoff showing after having like a nightmare regular season that we talked about ad nauseum all year.
Yeah.
Where the major issues were just injury, I think, with them, right? And so I think that is, look, they have to be healthier than they were, So I expect them to be better than last year. But look, they fired Jamal Mosley and they hired Sean Sweeney. People seem to like Sean Sweeney. He's got a great pedigree. Jamal Mosley had this team playing hard-ass defense, had them with a real identity for years. I wonder about that. I wonder because if to me, all the things you said about the shooting and all of that stuff, like even if they have everybody healthy, that might not. I mean, is that really going to change? Like, are these guys automatically just going to become great shooters? Like, I don't
think so.
Yeah, I don't expect that to happen. What could happen is with coaching, they lose their defensive identity, and if they do, this could be big trouble.
I really doubt that, though.
Yeah,
I just don't think that that's going to happen.
My pick for them at 7 is not. Yeah, so you have them at 8. Yeah, my pick for them at 7 is not predicting that necessarily. Yeah. Like I think they'll be competitive and healthier. There may be, but yeah, they've got questions. Who do you got at 8? Oh, so you had Orlando at 7. Who do you have at 7?
Miami Heat.
Miami Heat. Okay, I got them at 8. So
yeah. Look, the Heat, and we talked about them a bit earlier, and we talked about honestly the Heat we probably talked about more than any of these teams because of the Giannis trade.
Yeah.
They got Giannis, they've got Bam.
Yeah.
They don't got a lot more else. Their defense is interesting. They
I
got
like
Spoelstra.
Mitchell. Obviously love Spoelstra. Hardaway Jr. is going to play a lot. Again,
this is where I get to the East is just deep, man. Like, I'm sorry, you've got a cool team.
Yeah.
You can do fun stuff. You got to play four.
Yeah.
You got to play three really, really good teams to get out of this East. And you got a lot of games against hard ass teams every night who have better offenses than you do. And I mean, look, if Giannis takes his place over again as the best player in the league, then this changes. And there were strokes of last year at the very beginning where that looked like that could happen. And maybe he can on this team in perfect shape, and that might with the Heat culture clicking with him, and they'll find some guys. And I honestly am very open to sliding Miami up and down on this ladder. But as it stands with the roster that they have and betting against a little bit of injury for Giannis simply because he's been injured a healthy amount the last few years.
Yeah.
And I want to know, and also, New York will not have a fun time if this is who they end up seeing at the 8 seed. They'll go, oh, God damn it.
I mean, do you still have Giannis as like a top 5 player?
Yes, I have him at the 5. I have him at the 5.
I'm kind of, and I haven't made my list, but like, I kind of am with you. Like, that's where this is weird, because I don't actually have them sliding up. I don't think there's I think we've seen in the past a Giannis Antetokounmpo team that is not deep, that doesn't have that much help around him. Bam is help, but like I think after that, they traded so much to get him. They traded their whole fucking team. The offense is gonna be.
We're sleeping on Andrew Wiggins. I want to know a little bit. We're sleeping on Andrew Wiggins. Who's
initiating offense though? Look,
Giannis.
Bam.
Giannis. Every possession.
Giannis, Bam,
Giannis,
Wiggins,
Giannis,
Bobby Portis, Davion Mitchell. Is that
it's the bench? It's the bench. No, it's the bench. When you get to Portis and Pele Larson, and then you go, wait, who's on there? They
literally only have 11 guys signed, dude. I'm gonna
read
have
you 6 playable players. They have 6.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They just don't have guys. Like, and I'm not like Wiggins is fine. Like Bam is great, but like who are they playing at the? Look, I'm gonna read you the 11 guys in their roster: Giannis, Bam, Wiggins, Nikola Jovic, Bobby Portis, Davion Mitchell, Tim Hardaway Jr. Now, that's 7 guys. Okay, Drew Smith, Myron Gardner, Simone Fontecchio, who I don't like, Pelle Larson, who I don't like. Like, that's it. That's all the guys they have.
I like Bobby Portis.
And Bobby Portis. It's like, and I don't love Tim Hardaway Jr.
I like Tim Hardaway Jr. Tim Hardaway Jr. is going to start for them. He's a good player, and he needs to play for them.
Yeah, he will, and he'll shoot it. He'll score. He's 34 though. Like and the Giannis injuries. I just feel like we've seen this movie before where Giannis doesn't have a deep team, and he carries them to something. But I think in a normal East, this would be the 4 or 5 seed. I think this East is too deep for that. So they're going to be 7-8.
I clearly agree with you. I just think there's such a good chance that, some injuries sprinkle around on some of these teams that we picked on the top. And then Miami slowly but surely finds their way into like a 6 seed or something like that. But maybe I'm just hoping for. I like Giannis. I like Giannis as a player. If I don't love him as a personality, I like him as a player. And I do think they'll find something. But yeah, I understand. And so yeah, that means that I ended up with the Hawks and the Celtics on the outside. And it seems like you came to a pretty similar conclusion, except for you have the Cavs and the Celtics on the outside.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. We're down to our last team, and I think it's kind of a big one.
What, the Boston Celtics?
Considering what other people think, and considering that we are on a consensus, maybe a little bit of you and me groupthink happening.
I'm not even See, that's why I want to save this one for another time, because the truth is, I am not as anti-Celtics as you would think with this raw. The East, I just named 8 teams that are so good. I just named 8 teams that are so fucking good.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, man. Like,
but we both have the Celtics were the 2 seed last year.
They were.
And presumably they're getting their best player back from injury, and he's going to have a whole healthy year. The reason I point this out,
they might have the best coach in the league.
Yeah, right. And like Vegas has them with the 5th best title odds, and has
of what? In the league?
in the league.
Yeah, that's just Bostonians. Like, that doesn't make any fucking sense.
And 50.5 wins over under, right?
No.
Like,
No. But
dude,
no.
they were the 2 seed last year.
I don't care. They don't have they don't
They
have
added
the guns
they added
in
a
this
center
East.
that they didn't have.
They don't have the guns in this East. Your second best player is who? Peyton Pritchard, Derek White,
Paul George is
Paul
not your
George.
second best player. Yeah.
Who's your second best player in Toronto? Who's your second best player in Cleveland?
Yeah.
Who's your second best player? Like, these guys have
That's
real.
it.
Yeah,
That's
you know,
it.
like
That's it.
these other teams have fucking guns. Boston's just operating with just less firepower.
Yeah.
It's not.
No, I'm with you. I had set up a little straw man there because I'm agreeing with you. Obviously, I have them at the 10. I also think that there's a couple other things to me in play here, and we don't have to spend a ton of time on it because it sounds like you want to talk about it, ad nauseum or at length, not ad nauseum, at length later. But I think they might have overperformed. I don't think it's not even. I think they overperformed their talent last year. We saw the results of that in the playoffs. They're sort of come back down to earth, and I worry that they're despite having again literally coach of the fucking year, and championship coach. Your
and the guy who coach. I had number 11 on my top 25 players, and who could easily be higher than that.
Right, exactly.
And Tatum. I just don't think
coming back.
Just once we get past that, things get rough.
I agree with you on that in terms of the talent situation. I think there could be some come down to earth for that, but I also think, dude, Jaylen Brown was like the one of the 2 pillars of this fucking organization for a decade. They won a title with him. I just think there might be some repercussions. Like, there might be some locker room, there might be some vibes, repercussions from that trade. Whether that's players on the team being upset that he was traded, players on the team being upset that he pushed his way out, being mad at him, I just think they might not be sort of this, ebullient, like, hey, nobody believes in us, we're coming out here to fight every night. Like, I just think there may be a little, I don't know. You know what I mean? I got some questions.
I always say ebullient.
I don't know. I've said ebullient.
I don't think I say it all.
We gotta.
And on to our final discussion today, which is about the WNBA.
The WNBA
has been
fucking
awesome this year. There's so much talent. The All-Star weekend is here, and it's showing you exactly why the fucking W is what it is. It's got personalities that are allowed to be personalities.
It's so fun.
It's got and some of their best players are those personalities.
And talent, and this like emergent fucking talent.
Yeah. And it's everywhere. And you've got these really, 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 really fucking fun players who are actually just a part of, I don't know, like the firmament of the league in a way that, like, in the NBA, a lot of the players who create that stuff are like role players, not stars. But here you get guys like, Courtney Williams is on the All-Star team.
Yeah.
And she's also walking around like fucking filming Bridget Carlton saying like, this is a fine ass white girl. Like, it's just like it's shocking to hear like your talent be so open and likable and like showing so much of their personality in a way that actually benefits the league. You know what I mean?
For those unaware, Courtney Williams and Natasha Hinneman have like a
stream. They stream. They're called the Stud Buds. They're 2 young lesbians. They used to be on the Minnesota Lynx together. Now one of them is on the Storm, but it doesn't matter. They still link up at All-Star Weekend and basically like fucking troll every star in the league.
And they're like this budding media fucking superstars, dude. Like they awesome. They're all over the place right now in culture, and they're so fun. And
they're over here
and they're not Paige stars Buckers, either. It's like
Paige Buckers is drunk as fuck, and we get to see Paige Buckers drunk as fuck everywhere, probably stoned.
Speaking of pronunciation, isn't it Beckers? Isn't her name Beckers?
I don't know.
It's Beckers. It's Beckers. Anyway, whatever. Paige Beckers is fucking a all-star. Like I just
Probably
that's the other thing.
Probably the second best player of the W.
Among the I don't know. She's in there. I think she's top 5 up there. She's a budding star. She's amazing. Like and so fun. I mean, all these All-Star Weekend. I just keep seeing all these All-Star Weekend interviews get reposted. Olivia Miles, obviously, we've talked about way too much. His is so exciting and so awesome and so fucking good. And the Lynx are a fucking problem. They have the best league. They have the best record in the fucking league. They're 22 and 6.
Nafisa Collier just played her first game back,
right?
And she dropped 24.
And their franchise player just came back.
Yes,
right.
This is they're the favorites. I'm sorry, they're the favorites to win the title,
which is crazy to say with the fucking Liberty and the Aces. Like, it's crazy to say that, but dude, they were in the championship 2 years ago. Like, they're 22 and 6. They're 15 and 1 in conference. They're only
They've got the bigs to hang with you. They've got what you call it.
They've got defense.
They've got perimeter defense out the wazoo, and they have the best pick and roll player in the WNBA, even if she's a rookie.
Miles is, and her stats are like lagging a few, especially in scoring, a few other players. But
you just watch her control the game, and there's just nothing like her. There's nothing like her. She
looks like so in control. It's like Kyrie-esque even.
Yes.
If Kyrie were like a better passer.
It's like Kyrie and Harden, and it reminds you of every one of your favorite fucking pick and roll. Because there's so much flash in there too.
She's so fucking flashy.
He's making such fucking crazy ass passes.
I was telling you this just watching her in college, just like watching her just pick apart, just fucking play with her food, just be like, and just her handles. It's amazing. She's such a fun star. She's obviously captured the fucking hearts and minds of the league.
And that team has 3 All-Stars without Nafisa Collier. Nafisa Collier. That means they have like 2 top 5 players in the W.
Yeah, legit.
That's
just like
problem.
Go home.
That's a problem. They've got Shaq and Kobe.
As stacked as the Liberty still are, right? And the fact that obviously the Aces still have the best player in the league. There's no argument with that. Yeah. And she's averaging like 27 a game this year, bro. Like,
she's still the best player in the league. As much as I'm so excited about Olivia Miles. Paige is having an incredible year.
This is still A'ja Wilson's fucking league. Like,
yes. This is A'ja Wilson's.
But there's so much fun. Fudd just won the fucking 3-point shooting competition yesterday. Like, it's awesome.
Also, is ripped. Holy shit. All these stud buds videos I saw with her. Like, she wore a bunch of midriff showing shit. Yeah. And she also had her biceps out more. And she looks like a superhero, dude. Yeah. Hey, Ozzy Fudd looks like she's gonna crack your fucking head in between her abs.
She fucking does.
Yeah. She's fucking
Paige
awesome.
Beckers is into that. She looks at that, dude. Like, that's like, she's like, yeah, that's my girl. Dude. Love it. I fucking love it. I love that, like, you had said it before. The fact that we have open queerness and celebrating queerness, it's just awesome. That there's a space for this in sports is amazing, and of course, women are creating it. Of course,
and it makes the league so much more exciting. There's so many weird little connections between the players as a result, and there's I don't know, man. Basketball's always been such a game. We love basketball because of how much the personalities show. We love basketball because of how much we get to see our players play. In the W, because that's only heightened
without pads and whatever, and we see them close. The floor's small. Yeah, exactly. It's really like our friend Ryan years ago was ahead of this curve a couple years ago. Our buddy Ryan has 2 girls, and he had been kind of a casual basketball fan, became a big WNBA fan, and I just think we all should be in the way that we all should be. We all should have been. And I just want to say before we get to the next part of this, which I know you want to get to, I just love the moment that the WNBA is having, and it's well deserved.
I think they're deeply connected. What I want to talk about next, because I think you're right. We are in a beautiful moment for the WNBA where it is it is as successful as it's ever been. Its players are stars, and everybody knows their name. And all anyone wants to talk about is the fucking race war. The fucking race war coming out of
honestly fucking
Indiana.
got us here. It did. Is because guess what? This is America. Because guess fucking what? The race war is who we are. That's who we are.
It's what the NBA was built on.
Exactly.
The NBA's fame was built
exactly.
on.
The fucking Magic, Larry, like that. The NBA got famous, became popular because of a race war between two players coming out of college into the NBA, and the W exactly the same thing. Right? Like the exact same thing. Because that's fucking who we are. That's who our politics are. Anyway, go.
Plain stately what I mean. Caitlin Clark is the most famous player in the WNBA. She just is. She's the most well-known.
She's not the best. She's
not the best. She's maybe top 10. She's a very good player.
She's really good.
She's a very good player. She might not be the best player on her team. She hasn't been this year. Regardless,
there's been some injury questions this year, but
she moves the needle in terms of popularity. She is a very exciting player to watch because of her style of play. She was an incredible college basketball player who captivated the entire world whenever she was watching, and got her biggest moment of fame when she lost to a team led by black girls with its biggest star being a black girl, doing the exact same thing to Caitlin Clark that Caitlin Clark was doing to everybody else, and got treated like a fucking leper or whatever else.
Continues to be a villain. Was traded this summer from the team who drafted her.
Even though she's a stud, and her new team is fantastic. Angel Reese is a star, and she has had no one's ever said anything about her as a teammate. No one has anything negative to say about her.
Yeah.
But unless you read the comment section under a fucking Caitlin Clark fan post.
Yep.
And I
or
just like,
any
and this is why I
Twitter
put, and all I want to be able to say here is Caitlin Clark is to blame for this on some level, mostly because she does not roundly, or what you call it, turn it away. She knows who her fan base is. It reminds me, and if this sounds dramatic, I'm sorry, but it's exactly what it reminds me of. In 2016, before we had totally broken past the Rubicon of everyone just being okay with saying the fucking N-word anywhere on the internet
of white supremacy coming to the forefront, white supremacy before that had been rightfully pushed to the margins and had been seen as a fringe, but very American, core American value, but a fringe value.
Donald Trump as a presidential candidate was both afraid to openly, both are, arms wide open, embrace the white supremacist fan base that he had. But at the same time, he also would never, ever say anything that would make them think that he wasn't secretly on their side. And that's how Caitlin Clark has approached every single interview question about, hey, you got in a fucking regular ass scuffle with a player. Yeah. Or your fans are over here calling this person, what, and a million other things. And she'll say, we should all be nice to each other, or everything should be. And it's because she will not explicitly denounce outright racism in her name. She is more and more famous, and her fan base gets more and more juice behind them to go, she's being abused. And then there's this really nefarious thing here of like white femininity and like white womenness, like actually showing itself on a basketball court that you never see. Like, I don't have to worry about that. Look, racism is obviously everywhere in sports, and you see white players being treated differently and being described differently. But there's something so creepy and nefarious about seeing this exact thing that we've seen in a million fucking phone-led videos of a white woman going, I'm going to use the referees. I'm going to use this, or this neutral arbiter to see my victimhood and make it this other person's problem. And these videos of Caitlin Clark flopping, I'm sorry, they're disgusting. The flop on the Aces was the most disgusting thing I've ever seen, because she was doing it. I'm just going to describe it for anyone. Go back and watch it.
I'm sorry. Yeah,
it makes me so fucking mad.
I want to. Your favorite player ever is James Harden. Okay, continue.
Okay.
Continue.
Dude, bro.
Continue. I love you. Continue. You're on
But
one.
was James okay? And was James like having 11 fucking Republican Congress people sending letters saying, "Oh, they're abusing my sweet James Harden"? No, she has that. She has 11 Republican Congress people writing letters to the fucking WNBA commissioner to support her. And then 2 games later, after that happens, she fouls fucking Jackie Young on a fadeaway. It's in like you watch it, she fouled her on the hand. It's not a bad foul, but it's a foul on a shooter. Jackie Young had made some minimal contact. Or what you call it? Caitlin Clark watches the ball round and the car to see if it goes in. And then after it doesn't go in, falls like a fucking like she just got the worst stomach ache in the world out of nowhere and goes, "Oh," and lands on the ground, and everyone like replays the video like, what happened? Where is it? Where's the injury? Where did she hit her? Where was the wind taken out of her? And the answer is it wasn't there. And if you want to talk about phantom calls, sure, yes, I agree. My favorite players in the last 10 years have been Luka Doncic and James Harden. I am very familiar with a great scorer who gets stuck in a situation using their fucking ability to draw a foul. But what we're seeing here, because of who she is and because of what she doesn't, or because of what she's willing to allow be her support group and her supporters, it makes this really, really dark and weird. And I don't like it at all. And I don't like how it's made the Fever this weird, like, they're like Red America's team. You know what I mean? Like, they're like, this is MAGA team.
I mean, Sophie Cunningham is on that fucking team.
Exactly. Actually, and you can talk about that. And like, she plays with this girl who's not that good, but she's marketed as the second best player on the team to guess whom. She's a pretty little white girl who's had a bunch of, anyway, I was going to say something really mean. I'm not going to, that was messy. I'm not going to say what I was going to say. But what did she do this last week?
So Sophie Cunningham came out and said a bunch of anti-trans shit. I mean, if you want to read the quote, we can read the quote, but fuck her. Like, I don't even think I need to give that more voice than she just said, like, I'll read it. She said, "I said what I said. I think it's kind of common sense," Cunningham told reporters, "and I think I'll always believe in that. I think it's really important to protect children." Fuck you. I have 2 children. Fuck you. And that's little girls who are also involved in that category. I stand on what I said. These motherfuckers have never cared about women or women's sports. And like the fact that this is about women's sports and not about like hate and not about really, really, really masculinity, and about like the fact that to be a transgender, because who they hate are transgender women. That's who they really, really, really hate. Just like they've always hated gay men, right? It's for a man to debase himself, to debase himself by behaving and taking on the aspect of a woman, right? To disrespect manhood by lowering himself to womanhood. That's what this is about. That's always what this is about. That's never not been what this is about. And fuck this lady. Like, fuck her. Like, anyway, so sorry.
Word.
Fuck this lady. Caitlin Clark. I don't know, man. Like, I've been fans of, like, as a person who's followed music forever and sometimes hated an artist's fans and been like fucking John Mayer or whatever, you know what I mean? Or fucking or Dave Matthews. I fucking hate Dave Matthews fans. Dave Matthews is not the worst dude, you know, like, and his music isn't that bad. His fans are that annoying.
But if Dave Matthews fans were going out there and saying all of the other fucking stupid vague jam bands are a bunch of you-know-whats and you know what, Dave Matthews would come out and say, yeah, fuck that. Don't be my fan if you think that. And Caitlin Clark doesn't do that on purpose because it makes her the most famous player in the league. And that's fucking gross.
That's the thing that's hard to defend, right? That's the thing that either you've got your head in the sand so fucking far that you're just not seeing what's in front of you, that you're just, because of note, I want to, one other caveat that I do think there's a possibility. I don't know this woman. I don't care about her that much. Like I know that this race war thing was happening. I think this happened with Larry Bird and Magic Johnson. In hindsight now, years later, we love Larry Bird because he's actually a good man. Like, and he was always fucking awesome. He was the face of the racists.
I think he tacitly allowed them to agree with him, and I think he was complicit in the race war existing in the 80s in the same way that I think Clark is now. Does that mean that I think she's the worst person in the world? No. Do I think that what she represents in this moment of greatness for the WNBA fucking disgusts me? Yeah, man, I don't like it. I don't like it at all. And honestly, if I'm gonna cheer against them as hard as I've cheered against the team in the playoffs.
Well, like for Sophie Cunningham alone, like just
yeah.
To also
the way that they basically make Kelsey Mitchell invisible on this team, even though she's averaging the most points. She's shooting, her percentages look like a fucking Steve Nash season. They're fucking disgusting.
Uh-huh.
Awesome. She's shooting like 8 threes a game at like 43% clip. And everything is going to be, well, Caitlin Clark had a great game. Caitlin Clark did amazingly well. Caitlin Clark did this. It's all her. It just
and I want to come back.
I wish this wasn't what the number one story in the WNBA was. That's all I care about. It's like I really wish this wasn't.
So this is where I'm going to finally come back to here is that unlike the founding story, the founding narrative, this founding race war in the NBA with Larry and Magic, those were like arguably the two best players at the time. Those guys won championships. Like they were superlative talents that drove this fucking awful narrative that was a mirror for just America, for who we are, right? And this, so on this narrative point,
this is like if Dennis Rodman and John Stockton were the race war instead of you know what I mean? Like they're really good players.
Right. So, and that's where I'm coming back to is it's not my top story. And I think we live in a world now where we can select, and with our fucking algorithms, select what we see tacitly or actively, and what we pay attention to more than we have in the past with traditional news sources. And not to say that traditional news sources aren't all over this. Not to say that MAGA shit isn't all over this. Not to say that
and you know
whatever. But
on an individualist point, I'm with you. But establishment wise, what's being supported here is still this.
Like, no. I know. I see the stories. I see the talk.
Adam Silver and fucking Kathy Engelbert.
Yeah. And fuck her.
But I'm saying Adam Silver though was also said we can't have
kind of fuck him
violence
too at this point. Yeah,
and what you're called in Congress,
literal Congress.
Look at this. This is the entire establishment behind this girl, and they don't need to be. Let them play the fucking games.
Yeah, and maybe this is you're right. Maybe it is me a little bit sticking my head in the sand, but also as we see from All-Star Weekend, there are just so many other awesome things to pay attention to about this thing. Again, and as we started with this fucking segment, like, can we just look? There's like, I saw a stat. It was like there like 30% of the league is like out and gay. Yeah. Like that's so fucking. I mean, if you think that like 0% of the men's fucking National Basketball Association is fucking gay, like you're in, like go the fuck home.
To yourself.
Right. Go the fuck home. It may not be 30%, but if you think it's 0%, you're or in football or in baseball, because that's actually what's out, then go the fuck home. And again, this is where I just think that there's beauty here to be paid attention to. And to me, Caitlin Clark isn't good enough. The Fever aren't going to be good enough for me to really give a fuck.
See, that's where I'm going to the Fever
I don't know.
Really good though, man. Aaliyah Boston and Kelsey Mitchell.
Have they and maybe it's like but they really struggled, and maybe I just haven't been paying attention in recent weeks because they struggled on defense pretty mightily at the beginning of the year. So maybe they've turned that around. I don't know.
No, Boston isn't the greatest rim protector, and that will eventually be their undoing. but they've got a powerful offense, a very, 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 very powerful offense. Yeah. Look, man, you know what? I like where you're. I honestly like what you're saying, and you're right. You're not saying let's ignore it completely. You're saying there are beautiful things for us to pay attention to. We should make sure that we allow those to be the great stories that they are, instead of deciding that this is the bigger story.
And honestly, in our country right now, to zoom out, there's like horrifying things happening. Like there was a man murdered by the fucking federal terrorists 2 miles from my home, not long ago. Like and there are horrible.
2 more in the week after.
That's right. 2 more in the fucking same week in Maine. Yeah. Like I just don't. There are horrible. And you're right that we shouldn't ignore those things, but we also can celebrate. God, if we have a thing to celebrate, can we just fucking celebrate it, right? Like if I've got this new baby boy in my house that I can like look at and squeeze his little cheeks and hope that I can raise him to be a better man than this fucking bullshit, and like, so yeah, I mean, if there are things that's all I'm saying is of course we should take the time to acknowledge this awful shit, and we should not bury our heads in the sand, and Caitlin Clark should not either, even if she doesn't agree with these values. If she doesn't, especially, she should be speaking up to to against what's going on. But also, like, man, if there are some beautiful things to look at, can we just look at those beautiful things and celebrate them for a second? If we've got
Chungus
fat
Yao
baby
agrees.
Chungus Yao,
Chungus Yao
like, can we
agrees.
just love on Chungus Yao for just a little moment, and tiny baby Stevie franchise, like,
yes,
come
and
on,
tiny baby August.
And tiny
All
baby
right.
August in my house, like, come on.
On that,
Anyway.
this is a good. That's a good closing point right there. I appreciate you giving us a little bit of positive perspective that only
God, we
somebody
fucking need it.
looking at a beautiful infant every fucking day can provide. I'm Jacob Mustafa. I love you guys.
Yeah, love you too. I'm Eric.
And this is the way we ball.
All right.
Bye.